Everyone. So yesterday we had a scary moment in the Warriors-Lakers game. It looked like we might have lost Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis got elbowed in what looks to be the temple during the game in which the Lakers lost, and now there will be a Game 6 in Los Angeles. And the concern was that he suffered a concussion. There were talks that he was a little, discombobulated. He was holding his head on the bench. He had to be wheelchaired to the locker room and be evaluated, and it was just scary. It was like, oh man, no way. We're up 3-1. Okay, we're gonna lose this game. Not a big deal. We'll go back to LA. We'll regroup, close this series out like we did in the Memphis series, right? Lakers undefeated at home. They're gonna show up at home. Anthony Davis is gonna be a big factor, big contributor in that game. And it just was scary to see like what very likely could be potentially the downfall of the Lakers this season after being up 3-1. Now, if he did get a concussion, he would have to go through a whole process. He would definitely miss Game 6, whether he wants to play or not. And then Game 7, if there is a Game 7, which there very well couldn't be, the Lakers could still win that game even without Anthony Davis. It just becomes very hard, very difficult. You would need LeBron James to basically be a superhuman. On top of that, you would need basically perfect play from the Lakers. It just makes things so difficult, especially against a team like the Warriors. I do think the Lakers could beat several other teams without Anthony Davis for like one game, but Warriors are just a different beast in and of itself. But now we got the information. We got a little bit of an update late last night after when Anthony Davis went through the whole process to see if he had a concussion, at least in the preliminary stage, by the Golden State Warriors medical team, and it came back negative. So early diagnosis indicates Anthony Davis appears to have avoided a concussion and is doing much better now, league sources tell at NBA on TNT and at Bleacher Report. This comes from Chris Haynes, tweeted this out, and this is good news, right? Lakers, again, absolutely need Anthony Davis. Again, you could win without Anthony Davis in Game 6. That's always a possibility. But come on, it's rough. It's tough. And then Anthony Davis comes back for Game 7. Is he right? Is he in the right mindset? Is he able to be 100%? How does that injury impact him with a concussion? And that's assuming that he's good to go and passes all of the tests that he has to take to be ready for a Game 7. So that could have been a problem. But luckily, it looks like Anthony Davis avoided the concussion. Probably just got, vertigo, something along those lines, which is difficult in and of itself. I mean, any type of head injury, any type of like elbow or any hit to like the temple region is never something you want to happen, never something that is good. And Anthony Davis has been just such a huge factor for this Lakers team on both ends of the court, right? When Anthony Davis is good, the Lakers win. That's basically what it boils down to. And I expect the Lakers to go in and win Game 6 with Anthony Davis. I think that they have all the tools to get that done. But the Warriors have just really, and even the Memphis series, we've seen in now 2 straight series, the refs just let Anthony Davis get all kinds of physical abuse. And it's like, at times, it's ridiculous. And look, a physical game is totally fine. That's the playoffs. And I'm not saying they have to call every single play that Anthony Davis, gets hit on. Because that's the case, then but it becomes a free throw game for Anthony Davis, right? It's the old Shaq rule, stuff like that. But I mean, especially in this Warrior series, as much as the Warriors, Steve Kerr has complained about flopping and stuff, there are some blatant and clear that if he's watching the tape, there's no way he thinks that the Lakers are flopping. There have been just moments in this series with Anthony Davis in which he is getting clobbered. There was even in the last game, right? There was several moments that I could think of off the top of my head where Kevon Looney ended up getting the offensive rebound, but he's literally holding Anthony Davis down with one arm right in front of the ref, holding Anthony Davis down and by pulling on his arm so Anthony Davis can't go get the rebound, and then reaching out and grabbing the rebound with the other arm. There was another instance where Anthony Davis is just literally just gets pushed in the back. Just pushed. Right? I mean, we've seen that happen a lot, where like Draymond or Looney will just push Anthony Davis. There was another instance where Anthony Davis is going up for a rebound and Draymond Green just literally grabs his shoulder and pulls him down. And you see Anthony Davis hit the floor a couple times, and it's just like, okay, again, I understand not calling everything, but, you know, like, where's the fair whistle? Where's the whistle in general, right? Like, you see guys like Joel Embiid, if he gets blown on, he's going to the foul line. And then you see instances where like Andrew Wiggins goes up and nobody's even like in his vicinity, and he gets an and one call, and everyone's standing around like, what? Like, who's the foul on? And it's just like, again, if you're gonna allow the physicality, fine, but you gotta allow it both ways. You know, you can't be calling offensive fouls on Anthony Davis when he's trying to go up for a board, when he's being dragged down. And I get he's the bigger player, so he's not going to get the benefit of the doubt. But you can't tell me you're missing all of these instances. And this is how things end up happening. Players end up getting hurt because they're allowing other teams to get away with physicality. Now, I'm not saying that was a dirty or physical play by Kevon Looney. It wasn't at all. It was just one of those just like unfortunate things. But that goes... He's being as physical as possible because he's been allowed to be as physical as possible the entire series. And you see instances, I mean, again, there's plenty of images of Anthony Davis just getting just pulled and hammered. And just not even Anthony Davis, but our players in general. There was a play in the last game where you had Steph coming around a pick, and Austin Reeves is coming and trying to fight through, and Draymond Green just grabs him, like puts his arm behind his back and just grabs Austin Reeves to prevent him from closing in on Steph, and like all these little knick-knack things, which, again, I mean, if the ref didn't see it, credit Draymond Green for getting away with something. But again, if you're going to have that level of physicality, it's got to be both ways. You can't give like tic-tac fouls to one team. And I get the home whistle is a real thing, but we saw the level of physicality that it seems LeBron James and Anthony Davis in particular, other teams are allowed to play against them. But you don't get that same whistle for other players or other stars or things like that. It's really interesting. Now, again, that doesn't go without, like, the Lakers didn't lose yesterday's game because of the refs. The refs were pretty bad, but like the Lakers they didn't have the defense. Their defense was the biggest issue. All of the turnovers, right? There's a lot of things that go into it, right? If the Lakers just showed up and played their usual level of defense, they would have won that game last night, but they didn't. You know, we were trading buckets all night. Warriors went on a run, and we were never able to catch up and get back over the hump, right? It just seemed like a game that, like, no matter what, it just felt like the Lakers weren't going to come back and win that game. And they didn't, you know, and you credit the Warriors for that. The Warriors got it done, and now the Lakers just have to handle business. Warriors handle business at their home court. We have an opportunity to close out in Los Angeles on our home court, right? That's how it goes. Lakers get the job done, then they don't have to worry about the Warriors, and hopefully maybe going forward, they'll get a fairer whistle, especially with like a team, say like, you know, or even Phoenix too, because they actually have 7-footer guys. So maybe that like size, that, you know, size advantage, where the whistle kind of dries up a little bit, just because it's like, well, he's got 7 inches on them, right? We got to make it fair. Hopefully that kind of goes away, and then the Lakers are able to get an even whistle. Again, I'm not saying like you have to allow the Lakers to just get every call, but again, there's a clear difference in these two teams, right? Anthony Davis and the Lakers are a to the basket, draw the contact, go to the free throw line type of team, right? That's their goal. Where a team like the Warriors, their goal is to shoot 50, 60 jump shots per game. That's why there's a free throw discrepancy. And all the people that are like, oh, like the Lakers only win because of free throws, it's such a lazy and just uneducated argument. The Lakers are the best team in the league in defending without fouling, and one of the best teams in the league with at drawing contact. Why? Because they go to the basket 90% of the time. They were 26th in the league in three-point attempts. Like, that means they weren't shooting a lot of threes. And then you look at teams like the Warriors who shoot 43s a game. That's why they don't get the free throws. But you had the Lakers shoot 10, I believe 10 or 12. It was 12 less threes than the Warriors, and the free throws were identical. And the Lakers were the more aggressive team to the rim. A lot of the Warriors, just layups and stuff, were that wide open layups because, a breakdown in the defense and stuff. Yet they had the same amount of free throws. Again, goes into the home whistle, goes into all that stuff. Lakers didn't lose this game solely because of that, but it is an interesting factor, right? Offensive rebounds was the real difference in this game, right? Lakers just weren't going after. The Warriors wanted it more. They're the defending champions. Their backs are against the wall. They're in their home court. They didn't want to lose on their home court. They were going after it. They were the aggressors. They were the team trying to get it done. That's fine. Tip your hat to them. Say, congrats, great win. Take it on the chin, move to the next game. But we need Anthony Davis. And there is a real concern now of how will Anthony Davis be in Game 6, right? Yes, it doesn't appear that he has a concussion. Now, we will get more information, and as we get that information, I will update all of you. But even if he doesn't have a concussion, does he have some kind of, vertigo injury? We've seen guys have stuff like that. Like, how does he hold up? Now, he was able to walk and leave the arena on his own. He didn't need help or assistance or anything like that. He did look a little wobble, but how much of that was just like him just kind of, cruising type thing. But he definitely at least was able to walk by himself, which is good, right? He passed the concussion test in Golden State. He's going to have to take another one in the morning at some point. This video should be uploaded rather early, and so we may end up getting another update. If it's the same thing and it's just Anthony Davis is fine, then I probably won't do another video on it. We'll probably talk about some other stuff. But if it is some kind of update or there is questions about his status for Game 6, then I'll provide that update as we go because we need Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is extremely important for Game 6. I believe if he passes concussion protocol, he will play. But how effective is he going to be, right? Is he going to be able to kind of focus, lock in, and concentrate? Or does this injury kind of get to him a little bit, right? Does the physicality get to him a little bit, right? That's a real question too, because again, they're allowing him to get all kinds of just beatings and nothing's happening. However, this injury could end up being a sort of blessing because the refs might be on the lookout of like, hey, we allowed Anthony Davis to get clobbered. Look what happened, all the backlash. Let's keep an eye on Anthony Davis for contact. You see that happen a lot. So maybe Anthony Davis gets a little better whistle in Game 6. I think Anthony Davis goes out and balls. I really do. I think if he's okay and he's right in his mind, I think you just upset him, to use a nicer term. I was going to use a different term, but trying to keep my monetization on this video. But yeah, I think he's going to go. I think he's upset, and you're going to see him be upset. And I think he has a monster game. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? What do you think of the injury? What do you think of the series? What do you think of Anthony Davis? How do you feel? All your thoughts. Love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments.